Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The world of aviation is no stranger to bold claims and ambitious projects. For decades, the skies have been dominated by a select few, with innovation often coming in incremental steps rather than giant leaps. But in 2025, a true disruptor emerged, the Comac C929. This aircraft didn't just enter the market, it announced itself with a roar, capturing the attention of the entire industry. Suddenly headlines shifted from the familiar rivalry between Boeing and Airbus to this new Chinese wide-body jet, signaling a real challenge to the long-standing duopoly that had shaped commercial aviation for generations. The C929 isn't just another plane. It's China's bold declaration of intent to compete at the highest level of global aviation, showcasing the nation's technological ambitions and growing confidence. For airlines, it means more choice and the potential for better deals as competition heats up. For passengers, it opens up new long-haul possibilities, with the promise of improved comfort and lower fares on international routes. And for Western giants, it represents a direct and formidable threat to their dominance, forcing them to rethink their strategies. The C929 is the result of years of massive investment, relentless research, and strategic planning, all aimed at achieving technological self-sufficiency and reducing reliance on foreign suppliers. Its development is already sending ripples through the industry, especially after renewed engagement with Western suppliers at the 2025 Paris Air Show, where the world watched as new partnerships and rivalries took shape. This aircraft is more than just metal and machinery. It's a symbol of shifting global power, a testament to China's rising influence in high-tech manufacturing and international trade. The C929's journey from concept to prototype is a story of ambition, perseverance, and overcoming countless technical and political hurdles along the way. With a successful long-range test flight, it's silenced many skeptics and proven that China can deliver on its promises in the most demanding sector of global transportation. As 2025 draws to a close, the C929 stands poised to become one of the most transformative forces in modern aviation, reshaping the industry and inspiring a new era of competition and innovation. The C929 story began not in a factory, but with a bold strategic decision in the heart of Beijing. In high-level government meetings, Chinese leaders envisioned a future where their nation would no longer be dependent on foreign aerospace giants. This vision was about more than just building an airplane. It was about national pride, technological independence, and reshaping the global balance of power in aviation. For decades, China's skies were dominated by Boeing and Airbus, with nearly every major airline relying on Western-made jets. But the government decided it was time for change. China would no longer rely on Boeing and Airbus. The first step was the C919, a narrow-body jet designed to compete with the best from the West. But the real ambition was even greater, to create a wide-body jet capable of flying long-haul international routes, a true symbol of China's aerospace aspirations. In 2017, Comac and Russia's UAC joined forces to launch the CRAIC C929. The partnership aimed to combine Chinese manufacturing might with Russian engineering expertise, hoping to challenge the West's dominance in the skies. But the world changed. Western sanctions on Russia after 2022 abruptly ended the partnership, forcing Comac to continue the project alone. The dream of a joint venture faded, but the determination remained. Many doubted the project would survive such a setback. Yet instead of retreating, China doubled down. The jet was rebranded as the Comac C929, and the focus shifted to harnessing domestic innovation and talent to keep the dream alive. While the world faced a pandemic and escalating trade tensions, Chinese engineers quietly advanced the C929's design. They worked through lockdowns and uncertainty, determined to prove that China could stand on its own in the global aerospace industry. The pause in Western supplier selection was not a sign of failure, but a calculated move. A strategic reassessment to ensure the C929 would be less vulnerable to external pressures and more self-reliant than ever before. Today, the C929 stands as a powerful symbol of China's resilience, ambition, and determination to lead in aerospace technology. It represents years of perseverance and the unwavering belief in a national vision. Its evolution from an international joint venture to a proudly solo project marks a new era of technological sovereignty for China, setting the stage for future breakthroughs. Now, as the world watches, the stage is set for the C929's dramatic re-emergence in 2025, a moment that could redefine the future of global aviation. The 2025 Paris Air Show was expected to be a grand stage for the aviation giants Boeing and Airbus, who have long dominated the headlines and the industry's attention at this prestigious event. But this year, it was Comac, the Chinese aerospace upstart, that quietly stole the spotlight and left industry insiders buzzing with speculation. After years of relative silence and slow progress, Comac made a bold announcement. It had officially entered the detailed design phase for its ambitious C929 wide-body jet, a project that had been shrouded in uncertainty. The news sent ripples through the crowd, as most had assumed China would continue to rely solely on domestic or Russian technology for its next-generation aircraft. On June 16, Comac surprised everyone by signing memorandums of understanding with major Western firms, including France's Safran and America's Crane Aerospace, for critical systems and components. These deals were kept deliberately low-key, reflecting the complex political sensitivities and the delicate balance required in today's global aerospace industry. Western companies are eager to access China's enormous aviation market, but they must tread carefully, navigating a landscape shaped by export controls, trade restrictions, and ongoing political tensions between East and West. The agreements, while focused on non-core systems, sent a clear message. Despite geopolitical friction, the global aerospace sector remains deeply interconnected and reliant on international collaboration. For Comac, sourcing Western components is essential, not just for technical performance, but for meeting the rigorous international standards and certification requirements needed to compete on the world stage. For Western suppliers, these partnerships offer a pragmatic way to maintain a foothold in the world's fastest-growing aviation market, even as political winds shift. Ultimately, the 2025 Paris Air Show will be remembered not just for flashy aircraft displays, but for these quiet, strategic partnerships that could reshape the future of global aviation. While Paris brought strategic news, a test flight made the C929's capabilities undeniable. A prototype completed a non-stop 12,000-kilometer flight, simulating routes like Shanghai to New York. This achievement stunned skeptics, proving Comac could build a true long-haul competitor. Developing such a jet requires mastery of aerodynamics, engines, and advanced materials, areas where China was once doubted. The successful flight gave airlines and suppliers confidence in the program's momentum. It marked the C929 as a serious contender, not just a paper project. For China, it was a moment of national pride and proof of technological progress. For the world, it signaled a new era. China is now creating, not just assembling, advanced aircraft. The C929 is designed to compete directly with the Airbus A350 and Boeing 787. Its 12,000-kilometer range enables it to serve major long-haul routes worldwide. Seating between 250 and 320 passengers, it fits neatly into the heart of the wide-body market. High-density versions could carry up to 440, appealing to budget carriers and busy routes. Comac's cautious timeline targets Chinese certification by 2032 and commercial service by 2035. This deliberate pace reflects lessons learned from Western rivals, prioritizing safety and maturity. Gaining FAA and ESA certification will be the real test, requiring technical excellence and political navigation. The C929's decade-long runway is a strategic bet on long-term success. The C929 is more than an aircraft. It's a tool of national policy and a flashpoint in global politics. It's central to China's Made in China 2025 plan, aiming to reduce reliance on Western technology. Every C929 sold shifts economic and political power away from Boeing and Airbus. The project complicates US-China and EU-China relations, as Western suppliers walk a tightrope between profit and politics. The C929 is now a focal point in the tech rivalry between China and the West. As Chinese airlines buy domestic jets, Western trade leverage weakens, forcing a realignment of global relationships. The sky is no longer a two-player game. The C929's arrival will shake up the global aviation economy. Its entry breaks the Boeing-Airbus duopoly, promising lower prices and more options for airlines. The program will drive growth in China's domestic aerospace industry, creating jobs and fostering innovation. For Western suppliers, the C929 is both a lucrative opportunity and a risk. Technology transfer could create future competitors. Companies must weigh short-term gains against long-term strategic threats. China will likely use the C929 to strengthen ties with developing nations, offering attractive deals and support. This strategy could secure export orders and deepen China's global influence. The C929 is not just a jet, it's a lever for economic and diplomatic power. The C929's rapid progress has forced industry experts to reconsider their skepticism. The successful test flight and renewed Western partnerships prove the project's viability. Yet the biggest hurdle remains international certification from the FAA and EASA. This process is as political as it is technical, and could take years. Market acceptance will depend on COMAC's ability to build a global support network, something Boeing and Airbus have spent decades perfecting. Western suppliers' reluctance to publicize deals highlights ongoing tensions. The global supply chain is fragile, and future export approvals will shape the C929's competitiveness. The next phase will test COMAC's resolve, and the world's willingness to embrace a new player. As 2025 closes, the C929's path is set but far from certain. The next decade will focus on design, testing, and the tough road to certification. Success hinges on winning FAA and EASA approval and convincing airlines to take a chance on a new entrant. Boeing and Airbus must now innovate faster and compete harder, ending the era of a comfortable duopoly. The C929's rise will spur a new wave of progress across the industry. This is more than a new plane, it's a sign of shifting global power and ambition. Whether you're a traveler, investor, or industry watcher, the C929's journey will shape the future of aviation. The skies are changing. Keep watching.